Okay, now that we're back from the air leak that we had, we're set up here. We dropped down 100 thousandths down on our part, and that way we can test it out and make sure that we're at a good height. We can test out going in, because the rest of this is all going to get machined on here. So I know if I come in to the right distance in, I should be okay then to drop it down and go the rest of the way. So right now what I'm doing is where I'm sitting on center. I'm just touching the very edge of the part. I've gone down in 100 thousandths. So what I need to do now is I want to conventional mill. So I'm going to be feeding back across this way towards myself, cutter, bringing the cutter back towards myself. I want to move in. Right there's 50. I'm going to come in 100 thousandths. Okay, and I'm going to test it, and if everything's right, I should have about 20 thousandths left that I need to take off. I'm also going to look at my depth and make sure that I'm at a good depth. That'll give me a really good idea as to how much more material I need to take off. Okay, there's my first cut. Now if I come in here and I check this distance in, I'm at 87 thousandths in, and I thought I fed 100, so I still need a little bit more to go. We can check our depth as well. You want to check this with a depth micrometer to get it exact. 100 thousandths deep, so we're good on our depth. So I'm going to turn this back on, and I'm going to move in. There we said we were only about 88 thousandths, and I need to go 125. So I'm going to go another 10. I'm going to go about 25 thousandths right now. Then we're going to stop and we're going to check. Always better to sneak up on the dimension than to take it right to the size and go under. Again, my dimensions are going to be a little bit different than what the dimensions on the print are, because I'm using a different diameter block. So now if I touch and I come in, we're at 119. Our tolerance on this is plus or minus 5 thousandths. So I'm just outside my tolerance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move it over a couple thousandths to get me within my tolerance. You can see it's taking barely anything off of there. And now if I check this, I am at 120. So I'm within my tolerance, and I think I didn't have it quite on there right. $122. So we should be good within our tolerance for the distance in. Now I have to go 350 deep. So I can take another 100. I knew I was good with the depth on there. This should take me to 200 thousandths. And all this at the top is going to get machined off anyway. So that's why we do all of our testing and stuff on the top of the part. That way if there is a mistake, we can get it corrected before we get down too far past the point where we can fix it. So there is 350 thousandths on our depth. going to take a couple more thousandths off of this side just for any kind of a spring pass, because I know I had a little bit of stock to play around with. Alright, now that's my first step. I am 125 thousandths in, 350 thousandths deep. Now, on my hex, if I look, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides on here. So if I have 6 sides on my hex, and I have to index this around, how many degrees would I index it? So if we take 360 divided by 6, we get every 60 degrees, right? So I need to take and index this around. Right there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 degrees. I'm at 60 degrees now. What I like to do is I'm going to zero this out right here. And I'm going to work into that. So if I loosen this up, taking light cuts on here because I'm using a finish end mill. If you wanted to go around it with a roughing end mill and hog a lot of material off, you could do that first. And then come back to the finish end mill. I'm going to stop this about 10 thousandths short of where I need to be, and I'm going to check it for my distance in. Notice I haven't changed anything on my height. So the height should maintain and be the same the whole way around it. So if I check this with my calipers here, I am at 110, 109, 110. Remember I said I was going to stop about 10 thousandths short? So that gives me my 10 thousandths. I'm going to move in my 10 thousandths. I'm going to take my last cut on here. Check it. I'm at 123. So I'm good. Next step would be to move this another 60 degrees. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And we're going to repeat the process. Once we have all the sides done around here, I'm going to move up 50 thousandths, and I'm going to continue to repeat that process, indexing around. So all you're doing is indexing the part so that each time you do it, you get a nice flat surface on each one of the sides. And that is how you go about setting up and using the rotary chuck.